What do we have on tonight's show? Well, I have my Bongino Army Burger King crown on because there are no kings, but I am the queen of scrolling, okay? And Trump might not be a monarch, but he is the king of memes. Nobody can take that away from him. And I am playing the greatest hits from No Kings, all the protests this weekend. Andy says that this is the most comprehensive coverage of No Kings that you will get anywhere. And I tend to agree. There's a list of, I don't know, 30 videos on here that we need to get to. So we're going to get into all of that. Also, do you all remember the story of Peanut the squirrel? Well, now it's Peanut the blind baby fawn at risk of being killed by the government in Michigan, and her life depends on Governor Gretchen Whitmer. So I'll just leave you with that. Also, an Alabama sheriff has gone viral for his Halloween decorations depicting skeletons dressed as ice, running after skeletons in sombreros. And you know how sombreros trigger the left. They think it's racist and they can't take a joke. Anyway, the display is getting mixed reactions, so we'll get into that and so much more on this episode of Nightly Scroll. Put your phones on Do Not Disturb. The show starts now. Someone in the chat said no. They said more poop memes. It grates the left more than sombreros. I tend to agree. I think the sombreros do get them really riled up, but the poop sent them over the edge. So let's get into the meme, the video that started it all. So this is what President Trump posted on Truth Social. Watch this. Here's King Trump in his fighter jet, and he's got his crown on just like me. And he's dropping loads of shit all over Harry Sisson, and he wiped it into his mouth. And now poop is just covering everyone in Times Square. All right, so as we know, the No Kings protests have been going on for months now, but this past weekend was, I don't know, I guess a resurgence of one of the same kinds of protests. This is just what they do now. Liberals all decide a weekend to go wreak havoc on American cities, and this is what they do. So President Trump posted this obviously in jest, but liberals can't take a joke. So here is how Harry Sisson responded on X. He said this: "Can a reporter please ask a joke or leave it?" And clearly they can't take the joke. So leave it. Just leave it alone. If you don't think it's funny, move on. This is my my memo that I live by, right? If you don't like it, scroll away. Just scroll away. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. If you don't like the video, maybe it's not for you. Just because, on TikTok, it's called the For You page. Just because it's on the For You page doesn't mean it's for you. If you don't like it, scroll away. Anyway, Harry Sisson then responded again, saying that over this weekend, President Trump attacked him with an AI video. So he wrote this: "In the past week, Trump attacked me with an AI video. JD Vance joined in and went after me." We'll get to that in just a second. "MAGA got deport Harry Sisson trending on #1. Guys, I think Trump and his fans don't like me. I wonder why. I wear it as a badge of honor and I'll keep calling them out." I guess the left thinks that he's a hero. He's, I don't know, standing up to MAGA. He's a pansy. He looks like a total pansy to me. And I will say, we were talking about this before the show started in here, I don't blame Harry Sisson for being shocked. I, too, would be shocked if I woke up to the president of the United States posting an AI video of him dropping shit on my head from a jet. In true, Top Gun form, President Trump, he's
patriotic shit.
What?
I said patriotic shit.
Patriotic shit, for sure. But would I call this an attack? No. Maybe a shitstorm, but I would not call it an attack. AI videos are not an attack. If President Trump had actually dropped poop from a jet, a stink bomb from a jet onto the heads of unsuspecting American citizen protesters, I would say that would be an attack, but it was just a joke, like I said. And then Vice President JD Vance replied to Harry Sisson saying that he would ask. That original tweet that I put out, JD Vance said this. He said, "I'll ask him for you, Harry." And then Harry Sisson replied to the vice president saying, "Just add me to the Signal chat. I'll ask him myself." And I added that because that is a good one. I'll give it to Harry Sisson. That was a good comeback. I can call it out on both sides. I can call him a pansy, but when he has a good comeback, I will say that is a good comeback. And I thought that was very funny. But let's get into the highlights, if you can even call them highlights. These are like the lowlights, but they're funny for us, right? These are all of the highlights that I saw on my For You page. Basically, my entire show today is scrolling time, so I hope that's okay with you. But this is what my entire algorithm has been feeding me. And these protesters are not very smart. We see these man on the street videos, and there are new media, members of the new media. They are independent journalists, YouTubers, what have you. And they go out with their little Rode microphones, and they're asking these liberal protesters, why are you out here? And they can never answer. But let's watch this first one.
What are you in agreement with?
That's happening currently. They just passed a law in the ocean that they're going to be protected. That was a bipartisan decision.
Can you explain that a little bit more? A law in the ocean?
It's almost like, you know how certain land is protected? They're doing that for the oceans now.
Who?
I'm going to misquote the name.
That's fair. Okay, so
it's like a conservationalist world organization conserving nature.
And they passed a law?
Yeah, to protect the ocean. Like
who is this law?
You can't fish there. You can't mess with it. Basically, it has to be preserved.
Okay, fair enough. Before we go, do you have anything?
Your ski boat.
Okay. Anything in particular you really dislike that Trump has done?
No answer. I don't know. She just tapped out there at the end. She had nothing left to say.
On a Mac, how you get like the spinning wheel of death?
Yeah,
that was
a
going
spinning
on
wheel of death.
above her head.
For sure. Yeah, it's funny how she says, what's the one thing that Trump has done that you like or you don't mind? And she says, they passed a law in the ocean. They passed a law in the ocean. What does that mean? You passed a law in the ocean, and then, this fine gentleman is like, who passed it? And, conservation groups can't pass laws. So he's asking, who passed it? And, what are you talking, what do you mean? They never really know. But then this one other, this is Shaney Rich, I think. He was in Miami, and he talked to this protester about, some of the policies that are associated with Republicans, with President Trump that they don't like, and voter ID is one of them. So here is a protester trying to make sense of his own thoughts on voter ID. Watch.
Voter ID is racist, yeah? Should you need an ID to vote?
No, I don't think so, no.
Is it racist that CVS asks you for an ID to buy Sudafed?
Well, I think that there are certain people that should not be allowed to buy Sudafed, so I think it's a good idea.
So it's more important that you use an ID to buy Sudafed, but not to vote for the person that runs this country?
I'm not exactly sure.
Well, some people shouldn't have access to Sudafed.
Yeah, totally. That looks like it's years of Sudafed for that guy.
Sudafed, Tylenol, this is why these are locked up in the CVS's and Walgreens these days. But I thought that was funny. Also, this woman claims that everything President Trump has done is illegal. Everything. Watch.
What has President Trump done to make him a monarch?
He started to take control and do illegal things and that are not within his power. So that's pretty much what makes a person a monarch. They take complete control even though they shouldn't have it.
What illegal things has he done?
Come here.
Lifeline, please.
What illegal things? Everything that he has done except for get elected. Every single thing since he's gotten into office.
So deporting illegal immigrants, is that illegal?
Deporting illegal immigrants, if they're here peacefully, yes.
If they're illegally here, though, if they came illegally?
If they came here illegally, I believe we're a country that stands for Lady Liberty. It said, give me your tired, give me everybody you can possibly bring into the United States, and it doesn't say ship them back out. It says welcome.
Awesome. Any other issues, any issues in particular that you really disagree with Trump on?
No, because you're just baiting me. Have a nice day.
No more questions, please. You're just baiting
I was just
me.
asking.
Bye. So my favorite thing that she said is, if you're committing crimes peacefully, you should be able to do so. I don't understand that logic. I don't think there is any logic behind that statement. This is why I sometimes use the analogy, just because you have good intentions doesn't mean that your crime is absolved. Just because you rob a bank with the intentions of feeding the homeless doesn't mean that you didn't commit a crime. This is why when people say, well, they're asylum seekers, well, they're trying to flee a war-torn country, or they're trying to make a better life for themselves. Yeah, I totally get that. And they should file an asylum claim. And a lot of these people who are being deported are either not showing up to certain court dates, they are not filling out paperwork that they need to, they're not documented. So I'm all for coming here the right way. If you don't come here the right way, then you should be deported. But this woman seems to think that as long as you are here peacefully, you should just be able to live here, which is crazy. And then she also said anyone that you can possibly bring to the United States should be able to live here. That's crazy. These people just think that anyone can move here and unvetted, just trust me, bro.
Well, he tried to help her out. He tried to say, so illegal aliens, and she just doubles down.
No.
So like there's no reasoning here.
And don't you dare ask them what fascism is. The definitions are hard. They struggle with these. Watch.
What brings you out here?
Rising fascism, lack of health care, billions being poured into ICE without any accountability. 175 U.S. citizens have been arrested so far. And that's all I got for you. There's much more.
Can I ask you one more question? What is fascism?
Well, if you look historically, when a government no longer follows the will of the people, that is a large part of fascism. I would direct you to some of the really good literature on the topic.
Can you define it? Trump won the popular vote.
Lots of things to get to in this one. First of all, this is just a tease that we have even a more deranged woman in a Statue of Liberty outfit coming next. But let's get into Statue of Liberty lady number one. So she's asked, what is fascism? Of course, she can't answer the question. And then he throws her another bone at the end. Can you define it? What's the definition? She's already walking away, right? So she said that she's protesting because of the rise of fascism, which is a farce. She's protesting because of the lack of health care. What are you talking about? You have health care in this country. We have some of the greatest health care. Is it perfect? No. Is the system perfect? No. Can it be updated and made better? Of course. But we have health care in this country. People who have, what's the word for it? What does Canada have? The unlimited, what is the word?
Universal?
Universal. Yeah, I'm losing my crown here. Universal health care. They come here to get treated because their universal health care sucks. So anyway, lack of health care, again, this is a farce. Then she says billions, she's protesting the billions of dollars that are being funded for ICE. And she said without accountability, but the billions of dollars for ICE were part of the One Big Beautiful Bill that was passed by Congress. So again, where does the fascism start to come into play? I'm not understanding. This was these are our elected officials who are passing legislation. So I don't know, take it up with your congressman if you didn't like it, but it got passed. Then, of course, try to define fascism. Let me point you to some literature on it. And then she's walking away. She didn't point him to any literature on it. She just says, let me point you to some literature on it. And then, watch her walk away. All right, this is the even more deranged Statue of Liberty woman. Watch.
Tell us about your outfit.
You're from who?
Tampa Weekly. We're a media company in Tampa. We're just trying to interview people, figure out the vibe of today, what problems need to be solved.
I'm not trusting your vibes.
What do you mean?
What do you think we're on?
We liked your costume. We just want to ask you what's going on. We do. It's a Halloween outfit, or what is the premise behind it?
You look like Charlie Kirk fan. Get away from me.
You're an angry person, aren't you?
Always.
You always are angry?
Yeah.
Why?
Because gingers make me do it.
You're ginger.
I am. You look like my dad. Gargle dicks all the time.
I do not.
You look like you got a dick in your mouth.
I'm straight.
Because he looks like you got two stuck in your cheeks.
It escalates.
Or do you just got one done?
quickly.
Half sack. Half sack?
Do you live in Tampa?
Maybe I fucking don't. Who fucking knows?
Were you paid to be here?
Do I fucking look like I fucking get paid?
Do I look like I fucking get paid? Honestly, no, you're giving white trash with that mouth. It looks like you don't get paid, but maybe you look like the kind of person who would need to get paid to protest. Maybe you're looking for a paycheck. I don't know. But dang, she's got a mouth on her. Then she was saying, I'm not trusting your vibes, which, whatever. Then she's saying, you look like Charlie Kirk. You look like a Charlie Kirk fan. Then she also said, you look like my dad. So is her dad a Charlie Kirk fan? Then she's saying that she's very angry. She's always angry, and it's because gingers make her do it. Is her dad a ginger? I mean, this is a very deep, this goes very deep. There's a lot of layers to this.
A lot of daddy issues,
A lot of daddy issues here. Whew, I'd be embarrassed. And then it's like, let's say this woman does have a job. Could you imagine this is your coworker and you see this video? I mean, there's got to be a lot of coworkers in America today that are looking, oh my gosh, that's the person who sits next to me every morning at 8:45 a.m.
Just a overall general statement. When you're dressed up like a Barney or a dinosaur or an inflatable or the Statue of Liberty, would you assume somebody's going to come up to you on a random Saturday in October and be like, hey, well, do you work for Liberty Mutual? No. Why are you dressed up as the Statue of Liberty on the corner of the street? Like, that guy coming up and asking a question, it's like, you're wearing this. Like,
right.
Why are you so offended about people
like
asking you what you're doing?
You're clearly wearing this for attention. What are you laughing at now? I can't read it. She's furry material? I can't even read it. Anyway. All right. Speaking of inflatables, a lot of this is stemmed from the No Kings protest or the No ICE protests in Portland. They had the frogs that are inflatable frogs, right? And anyway, now the inflatables are taking over all of these protests. Here's an inflatable dinosaur, reptile of some sort, now telling this liberal who is talking to the media to stop. Watch this.
Do you think that Trump is a king?
No, I don't think he's a king. I think he's a wannabe king, but he's not.
In what way?
Because he's trying to rob us of our freedom. He's trying to rob us of our rights. He's trying to control everything.
Like what specifically has he done that is an example of that?
Where the ICE is coming into these cities and they are separating families and they are... Oh, okay.
I'm just asking basic questions. I'm just trying to ask why you're on it.
Okay.
Well, you said that ICE is an example, what he's doing, the deportations. Do you know that Obama deported people with ICE, millions and millions more people than... Oh. Do you think Obama was a king? Or? Okay. Hello. Could I ask you, why do you think Trump's a king? Why are you wearing the dinosaur outfit? Okay. Thank you.
So obviously they don't want liberals talking to the media. They're trying to rile you up. They're trying to make you look stupid. No. We're not trying to make you look stupid. You are stupid, and we're just getting it on camera and posting it on social media so that everyone sees it. So obviously that's the reason for, and I saw a lot of videos of this, by the way, of other women just getting into the cameras like, no, don't talk to them. They're on the right side. This is a right-wing troll. This is a right-wing agitator. Don't answer their questions. Don't. And again, we're just members of the new media in the crowd trying to talk to the other side of the aisle. Hey, what are you doing here? They can't answer that question. Why are you protesting? Can't answer that question. What do you hate so much about Trump? Can't answer that question. And if they do answer it, they answer it with no facts. Like, they have no facts. You know those memes where it's like the blonde meme girl and the blonde guy, and he's like trying to talk to her, and then like the fat friend comes over and like, don't talk to my friend. Like, that is literally the real life depiction of that meme, where it's like the person in the inflatable suit comes over like, don't talk to them. Anyway, And it is curious to see all of these protesters, and they're very old. We used to associate young protesters with college students, younger, because liberals used to be much younger, and now it's trending older. And a lot of these people are boomers, and I know it's not all boomers, but some of them. And this guy kind of seemingly went undercover, I think, to talk to some of these older people about why they are so old and why people on the right are so young and beautiful. Watch this.
Why is everyone here so old? I'm just wondering, where's all the young?
I work for the Board of Elections, and that's all you see.
Why is that? Where's all the young people? I counter-protested a couple weeks ago. There was one of that rat person, Charlie Kirk. I went and counter-protested there, and everyone there was so young. They were so young, a lot of beautiful people. And then I come here, and I went to another ones, and everyone's just old.
Don't say that like
Why is that?
Don't say that.
Well, I'm just wondering, why is it all the old people are at these, and all the young, beautiful people are at his? Why is that?
He did better, whatever.
He did better. We got to figure out what he was doing.
Well, the way he did everything on the internet, and
So we got to get on. So we got to get on the internet.
Well, you got to get on social media.
Okay, so
Democrats have always been
lackluster on the social medias. I'm going to start an account today and tell more attractive people to come to these.
Well, you don't need to
We need better looking women at these. Not that, of course, you women are beautiful. No, you guys. You guys are beautiful.
Democrats are definitely not lackluster on social media. I think that Republicans have definitely surged ahead of them recently with, the White House account is posting hilarious stuff and Trump posting memes and AI videos and stuff. But I wouldn't consider Democrats to be lackluster on social media, and they certainly know how to organize. I mean, look at the amount of people who are out there organizing. It's not that they don't know how to do that. They do. It's just that the people who are organizing for Democrats are old and ugly, and conservatives are hot and young.
It couldn't possibly have been Charlie Kirk's message that made him so popular, so it must have been the newfangled interwebs.
Right, of course. It has to be the internet. Yeah, the internet did it, and it wasn't Charlie Kirk and his messaging and how good he was at that, of course. It's just the internet, and I guess Democrats don't have access to the same internet that we do. We just have some super-powered communication skills. But, here is, and I'm just so upset. These next two videos are from Long Island. They're from Suffolk County. And, I like to think that where I'm from, a lot of people are Republican, a lot of people are level-headed, but these people are not. So these do not make me proud of my home area, my hometown, and the surrounding towns. But here are some old weirdos, and they were calling a dog ugly. Watch.
I love you. God bless America. It's great to speak your mind, isn't it? I love you. Oh, that's an ugly dog.
Oh, that's an ugly dog, he says.
Poor dog. That dog lives better than you. That dog lives better than you. He eats steak every night, this dog. He lives better than half you. Fuck your rapist leader. Look at all these washed up lesbians.
Are you a cop? Are you a cop? Are you a cop?
Rapist! Rapist! Hey, what if it was your grandchildren or your son getting raped by a guy?
Grandchildren, not mine.
Pedophiles! Imagine that! You still support a felon! You are too.
There was one young person there, and he's saying you still support a felon. But yeah, leave it to the left to call a dog ugly. And I do give the owner props for giving it right back to them and saying he eats steak every night. He looks better than all of you fat lesbians. So I liked that. At least there's, some hope out there. But unfortunately, there's nothing worse than a deranged Democrat with a guitar. So here they are. They're singing again. Watch.
No king, no king, no king in America. Don't hate our neighbors. We don't join a cult.
I worship a man with a bad orange tan. No kings. No kings.
Uh-oh. Now he's shaking his you-know-what.
No king. We don't have a king. We don't have a king. Yeah.
Wow. I should have given everyone a warning that this was going to be a tough listen.
Justin was commenting on how the rhyme scheme seemed a little. I thought it might have been a Japanese haiku, but Justin's a little confused about what. And I got lost into the time signature too. I'm not really sure if that was in 4/4 or 6/8 or.
I don't think they know. They were feeling out the vibes.
Yeah.
They were feeling out the vibes. You know, when I first saw that video, I thought, "Nurse, they're awake again. They've escaped. They've escaped."
Super drunk people with
back.
musical talent
Yeah.
still sound good. They just sound drunk.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's horrible.
And did he steal the guitar, or does he have it and he is just that bad?
I think it might have had a couple of strings on it. There
It
might have
was
been 4
missing one or
pops.
two. It was missing one or two. But, you know, these protesters, it wasn't all just fun and games and stupidity. It did get violent. I'm getting into now the violent protests here. And, you know, this isn't necessarily violent, that the left is very violent. So here is, I don't know what, a pushpin, a voodoo doll of President Trump, and they are poking him with pins. Watch this. So it says no kings. It's got a Trump voodoo doll, and a guy is just like going at it hard with these push pins. It's super gross. And the comment section on it too. I mean, everyone in the comment section was liberal. They thought that it was funny. They were encouraging this kind of behavior. They said, do we have a piece of Donald Trump's hair, saying, you know, maybe we can make this voodoo thing real, this witchcraft thing real. Maybe we can wish death upon him. This is where the left is now. They are openly calling for the death of Donald J. Trump. This is a president who has had multiple assassination attempts against him. This is very serious. And we're going to get into this later in the show too, because the Secret Service and FBI are investigating a potential new threat against President Trump. And we have all of these leftists getting increasingly violent when it comes to Trump himself, ICE, these No Kings protests, protesters throwing cinder blocks at police officers, a lone gunman shooting at the Dallas ICE facility. This is getting dangerous now, right? I mean, they are not quiet about it. They are genuinely wishing harm and pain and death on the other side. This is a very scary place to be in. And now we also had this woman, Lucy Martinez, who, well, actually first, we're gonna get to that next. First, this is an old boomer who is dressed as Charlie Kirk's murderer. You know that shirt that whatever the hell his name is was wearing the day that he assassinated Charlie Kirk? Well, this man, this protester, who looks to be well into his 80s. I mean, this is an elderly gentleman, and he is wearing what Charlie Kirk's assassin wore on the day that he assassinated him. And you can see my comment there, boomer libs need to be studied. But this is just sick. I mean, you're going to dress up as someone who carried out a political assassination? Like, this is just like a costume that you wear? And he obviously sought this out. Like, he looked up what Charlie Kirk's assassin was wearing and bought that shirt, bought that hat, really, to go protest Trump? That's the signal that you're sending, is that you want to kill the other side of the aisle. That is what we're seeing. And now this, we are going to get to what I just teased a second ago, but Lucy Martinez is a teacher at Nathan Hale Elementary School in Chicago. And you can see her, these protesters were driving by and they had a flag that said Charlie Kirk. And she made this gesture towards her neck, like a gunshot wound to the neck, gloating while making this gesture. I mean, it's totally disgusting. And again, this is someone who teaches the next generation of children, hopefully to not be as violent and disgusting as she is. But the school has deleted any presence online. There was a page that had her name, her teaching, her title, her contact information, that was taken down. The school has deleted their X page, their official school website. They've deleted their online presence because they know that they're getting backlash, and I guess they just don't feel like dealing with it. So the school has not yet provided an official response. It was a fake one circulating on X earlier today that I saw, but no real statement has been released by the school. And by the looks of the fact that they've deleted all their social media accounts, it seems to me like they're going to try to sweep this under the rug instead of address the issue that they hired a violent person to teach children. I can't imagine someone so hateful working with children. And do you think that someone like that has enough restraint to not bring politics into the classroom? Just throwing that question out there. Do you think someone whose response to a flag that said Charlie Kirk is a hero with his birth date and death date and a photo of Charlie Kirk, your response to that flag is to make a gesture of him getting killed, him getting shot in the neck? Do you think someone like that, who reacts like that, has enough restraint to not bring politics into the classroom? I don't think so. I think that that's a volatile person. It is a highly emotional person. Because I couldn't care less if a teacher is personally liberal, conservative, libertarian, independent, whatever, so long as they don't push those views on children in the name of education. I don't care what you believe. I don't care how you vote. But don't push it on children. And I understand that this protest was happening outside of school and